You guys may speak. It's awfully quiet.
Where do you want us to go once we log on?
When you're logged on, go to the desktop that says Employee Desktop. Did you already get that far? Employee Desktop. And then you will have access to 2013.
Yep.
Then you can stop. Well, you can serve if you want. Talk amongst yourselves, serve online.
Do we want to open?
Break the deadly silence. Make your presenter feel more comfortable, whatever you choose. What was that?
Do we want to open OneNote or is this homework?
No, you don't have
Not
to. Keep it a surprise.
Okay. She follows you here, I was like, what's the long way?
I had this
Good morning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so just kind of helping them with their projects.
It does not work.
I know, say just fine.
Yeah. You can just talk over your shoulder.
It's okay. Most of the day, we probably could.
Did you say we want standard desktop or faculty?
Faculty. Employee, does it say employee?
Madison College employee standard desktop.
Perfect, please.
And it asks me for Windows product. Windows product.
It's asking for a product key?
Yeah, I just said ask later.
Yeah, ask later if that pops up.
Anything you don't understand, a message, close out, say later. Isn't that kind of what we do, guys? We had to get security to open the room, so I sincerely apologize for this.
Chocolate will work.
What was that?
Chocolate will work.
Will, should've known, should've known.
Sorry,
I
just
know,
having fun.
I know you are. And Alan, how is it going on your end? Ready, almost?
I'm ready, so whenever you are.
Okay. I think we have a bunch of flash
Yeah, I have
drives.
7.
7? And I have a bunch too. Perfect. Let me copy one more.
All right, Amy.
I was just gonna say Ellen was gonna introduce me, but can I introduce myself?
If you like, I do have some,
Oh.
go ahead.
Okay, you can introduce me.
Hello and welcome to Tech Academy. I'd like to welcome you to this presentation of OneNote with Amy Guttner. Did I say that correctly?
Gettner.
Gettner.
Very
So
close.
so close.
Ellen Natitude. They're not very easy last names, yes.
And she will be your session leader for the next couple of hours. This is an interactive workshop for those of you here in person. For those of you online, please watch and pick up some tips and tricks. And if anything happens, you can get in contact with us through the Twitter, through the Yap app, or through the chat. That's happening simultaneously. And I'll turn it over to you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Amy Gettner. Yes, I'm a part-time instructor here at the college. Been here for 25 years, and I'm actually doing an LTE until next May. So a few times I've had some full-time, and I'm in the middle of a full-time right now. I'm in the business tech department and teach all of the Microsoft products and then some business courses as well. And I also go out and do training through business and industry services and do teaching through continuing education. So I'm all over in all the campuses, and I see familiar faces out there. And yes, you're ready to get into OneNote, correct? First of all, what we're doing, now you want to know, what we as instructors, all right, what are you headed for until 12 o'clock? I'm going to give you an idea of what OneNote is, some ideas of how you can use it, and then hopefully I'm going to give you some time to play around with it. I tend to talk and say, oh, let me show you this, oh, let me show you this, oh, let me show you this, and all of a sudden it's 12 o'clock. But if I can get through showing you so you can actually play with it, then that would be a good thing as well. So either way, we're going to cover all the things that you can do in OneNote. Before I get started, let me just get a gauge with you. How many of you have used OneNote? Wow, I've got a couple confidence ups, and I have this, which I always do, and none at all, which is very typical, right, for a software session. What about never used? Is that all the rest of you? Never used OneNote. Okay, the majority. So hopefully if you've used it, I can show you some tips that you did not know were in there, some cool things that you can use. And for brand new users, my goal is that when you walk out, you have an idea as far as OneNote, whether you use it, but it's in your toolkit. And you can say, okay, I'm going to use this program for this purpose. Take it or leave it. Got it? All right, before we get started, I want to show you the structure, because OneNote is not like any other structure for Word or Excel or PowerPoint, any of the other Microsoft applications. OneNote is its own animal in such a way that Access is. Access users out there? Okay, a few. It's not open a file, save it, and then I do a save as, and I can redo things. When you create a OneNote file, it sets up a whole bunch of different folders and files automatically behind the scenes. And this sheet will show you how that file structure works before we even jump into it. All right? Any of you brand new to 2013 at all? We're using yeah, I've got some out there. 2010 users. Okay, when you go in to a OneNote file, it's actually called a notebook. That's what it's called. So we call them documents, and in Excel we call them workbooks, and we call them presentations in PowerPoint. OneNote you call the big bowl, let's call it, a notebook. That's what it's called. And this notebook, think of it like a trapper keeper. I know, looking out there, the audience has heard of trapper keepers. Yes, let's go back to 6th grade, 5th grade. So these trapper keepers really, or a file cabinet, better a trapper keeper for an analogy, because you are carrying around this notebook in OneNote that is holding different sections, and those sections all have pages, and those pages all have note containers all over the page with things that you put on. So you open up your notebook and you've got your sections and you've got your pages with all of your notes, just like a trapper keeper notebook. But obviously, because it's not on paper and it's electronic, we can go in and we can put anything on any of those pages and incorporate them with all the other Microsoft products, which is why it's so powerful to keep all of your things in one location. That is the terminology up at the top. Then take a look at the example here that I have, and we will go through this. We're going to create a new notebook, and we're going to create different sections and pages, and then we're going to go back and look at what happened behind the scenes in terms of file structure and how everything's set up, because it's not one file at a time. Here's what we're going to do. Are you all on your desktop? If you fall behind, just say, hey, Amy, stop me, and we can get you caught up. Or help your neighbor. All right, so OneNote 2013 is probably on your desktop. Do you see it? Okay, go ahead and open it. And this is what you're going to see.
No,
Nope.
A little bit different.
Are you in 2010?
It looks like some have 2013 and some have 2010.
I'm looking at 2010 right here.
Says 2013 on the desktop.
Yes, it does. This is okay because we're going to pull in our new notebook. If you have a different opening look, this look is what OneNote puts together the very first time you go in. And really, guys, it's the only time you're going to see this. The very first time you go in. When you create a notebook, you're never going to see this again. It's just if you've never opened it before. So regardless of what your screen looks like, you'll be okay. We're all going to, I'm 95% confident, get to the same spot. All right, this again is just, you can go in and say, oh, what can it do? What can it do? But we know that we're gonna learn in here what it can do, so I'm gonna bypass all of this. And we're gonna create a new notebook. So I'm going under my file. This takes me to Backstage View. Click on File. And we're going to create a new notebook looking at the sheet that I gave you to set it up with our sections. We got our new Trapper Keeper and all of our different pages that we're going to keep in each section. All right, are you here now, everybody? All right. This is a little bit different. It's going to decide when you create a notebook that it will, if you're on 2013, often you have a OneDrive account or a Microsoft account and you have access to OneDrive. If you're going to store it on a flash or on your hard drive or anywhere else and getting control of where you're storing your notebook, then you want to choose create in a different folder. Otherwise, if you leave it defaulted to computer, it's going to go to the hard drive in your documents. That's where it will go. Into a folder called OneNote Notebooks. You didn't even create it, but that's where it would go. So instead, let's create this on your desktop. Let's do that. I'm going to create in a different folder. I'm navigating on the left to my desktop. With me? And this is the whole new Trapper Keeper notebook that I am creating, not file. No, well, it's a file, but it's a notebook file. And then for my notebook name, let's just call it your first name. And click Create or Enter. And now we should all get to this spot. With me?
yeah, but mine is different than yours. You have Amy, I have a different name.
You're going to have your name because that's the name of the notebook.
Okay.
So this right here is going to be your name of your notebook on the left. And if you do the drop down right here, do the drop down to the right of your name, any other notebook that you open is going to be listed right here. And you can choose that notebook. And I'm going to stick in the notebook that is my name. Now, 2013, let's just look at this if you've never been into 2013, and even if you have, every single Microsoft application program in the upper left-hand corner, guys, has the icon for the program that you're in and a quick access toolbar. That's what that's called. So when you see the back and the undo and the dock to desktop icons, those are buttons that they decided you would use frequently when you're in OneNote. Every program has them. If you do the more arrow to the right of that quick access toolbar, drop it down, Every program has an option to show below the ribbon. I always, in all of my software training, recommend that you drop it below the ribbon. Here's why. One, you can line up this whole thing without interrupting your title bar with buttons that you use frequently with whatever program you're using. Now, right now, I am just seeing my different ribbon tabs. File takes you to Backstage View. Home takes you to the Home ribbon. Click it. Home tab, now your ribbon drops. Just like 2010. So you've been using this concept, correct? Jumping from one ribbon to the next. But if I click back down onto my page, click, this is your page, your ribbon disappears, or at least mine did. So go over to the right-hand side, upper right-hand corner, you've got your close, you've got your restore down and your minimize, and then you've got a little icon that says ribbon display options. Click it. By default, obviously this took us to show tabs. We want to show tabs and commands so that they're always showing. Got it? Okay. Now, if you're not on your home ribbon, click your home ribbon. And again, go to the right-hand side of your quick access toolbar and do the down arrow. Okay, that down arrow, again, Microsoft, they sat around and said, oh, here's some other things they probably want to use over and over. And they put them on their list. So great, if I'm going to do my favorite pen one, whatever I have my favorite assigned to, and we'll get there later, then I can check that. And now my favorite pen is right there on my quick access toolbar if I want to use it, without my having to go to the draw ribbon. Go to the draw ribbon, which is where all of your pens are. Got it? All right, go back to your home ribbon. This drop down to the right of your quick access toolbar gives you options, but you can, like any other program, put anything on that quick access toolbar. All you have to do, let's say changing text color is something I use frequently. It's on my home ribbon. In my basic text, these are called groups, by the way. Home ribbon, clipboard group, basic text group, styles group, so on. So in my basic text group, I've got my font color. If you point to that font color and right click, and what are you going to choose? Add to quick access toolbar. I'm sitting here in OneNote, but do this in any of your programs. And line that whole bar up so you don't have to flip from one ribbon to the next. All right. So as we go through here and I show you things, I'm going to say, hey, I expect that if you use OneNote, you would want this command available. Throw it on your quick access toolbar. Throw it on your quick access toolbar. All right. Let's go and jump to the view ribbon so that we can see different views, like any program, that we can have in OneNote. Here's our notebook name right here. And then across the top, you've got different sections. So we don't have any sections to our notebook, and that's why it's defaulting to new section 1. If you look at your sheet, we're going to create, oh, I should have called it work. That's okay. 5 different sections. Business and industry. This is just an example one. So we're going to go in and I can right click on new section 1 or I can double click right on it. It's a Windows thing. And I'm going to call it business and industry. Keep adding these 5 sections by then clicking the plus sign to open up a new section. You cannot use ampersands or other symbols in sections names. So if you tried an ampersand, it would just say, can't use that, can't use the symbol. Is that what you did, Kelly? Is that the ding? Do you like how I threw in that workday information on workday stuff? Okay, so we've got our notebook and we've got 5 different section tabs. If you click on business and industry section, off to each section on the right-hand side now, you've got your pages that I was talking about, which is the next level down. So right now, this page is not titled at all. It says untitled here, and the title comes from whatever is above that date and time stamp in the upper left-hand corner of your page. So if I type in business and industry, let's say DWD, standing for Department of Workforce Development. Let's say that I go and train at the Department of Workforce Development, and all the information I want about them is going to be on this one page. Did you see how it changed the name over on the right-hand side of your pages then? Right when I type it in the title. Okay. Let's take a look at the file structure of this so far. So I'm going to click on my Windows Explorer, yellow folder on my taskbar, open up Windows Explorer, and I'm going to navigate to my desktop if you're not there. And you should have a folder called your first name. Do you see it on your desktop? It's a folder, isn't it? Is it a file? Nope. So when we created our new notebook, it created a folder that is going to hold all of the things in our notebook. It's not a file. So I'm going to open up that folder. Take a look at what it did. Do you have your file extension showing right now? Because it's a good idea to do that. In other words, do you have the .1, .1, .1, TOC2, all of those showing? By default, on Windows, when you, MATC did this. Madison College did this and set it up like this. So if it's not showing, I recommend you do that. And I'm going to show you how right now. Ready? It's first, look at your toolbar. Organize, include in library, that's your toolbar. You need your menu above it. The quick way to get a menu is press the Alt key. Alt key on your keyboard, and you've got your menu now. Now go into Tools, Folder Options. Stop me if you get behind. View tab. And then, as I told you, back at your desktop, this is probably checked, or at home, it comes checked with Windows. So if you uncheck the hide extensions, then you can see those. And I believe it's important to see them to learn file types. So uncheck that. While we are here, I also would highly recommend, because it does not do this by default, scroll down and you will see use checkboxes. So if I check the use checkboxes to select, and I click apply and OK, I really like checkboxes. Will you scroll over the different files? Because if you selected files before by clicking and holding down Control, right? Yes? Not adjacent, and then you accidentally clicked off, then it's a little frustrating, or you get a phone call, or something happens. This is really nice because I can one-handed do what I want without having to hold on my Control. So I can't live without that now, actually. So take a look at all the files that I created behind the scene. You've got some one files. Those are what? What are they? Your different sections. Do you see all 5 of them? And then you've got something that's called Open Notebook 1 TOC2, which stands for OneNote Table of Contents 2. That is the main file that is holding all of this. So if I were to take this, save it on my flash drive, I'll go back up a level. If I were to grab this file and save it on a flash drive and go over to my computer at home or throw it on here, I could open that notebook by going into Amy and opening the 1TOC2 at the highest level, and everything comes with it. All right. That's your file structure. Now we're going to go back into, go ahead and close out of Windows Explorer. We'll go back in after we create some section groups. Now, if I really want to store everything in one notebook, then I might have a lot of sections that I just keep going and going and going. So I might then want to clump some of these sections into a section group. So if you take a look, I'm going to create a section group called Teaching. And I'm going to put Business and Industry, Continuing Ed, and Business Technology in that one section. So it's not a section called Teaching, it's a section group. And to get a new group, so I can throw these 3 in that group, I'm going to right-click on any of my sections at the top and choose, of course, what? Yep, new section group. And now let's call that Teaching. To move a section into a group to get more room across the top, you can easily drag and drop, just like we move anything in Windows. So if I grab my Business and Industry and drag it while I left click and place it right over the word Teaching and drop it, I have just put that in my section group called Teaching. Did you do it? Okay, when you jump into a section group, you know you're in a group because take a look at the left of the section names. You have that little green arrow. That means you're not at the top level. And by the way, you can continue to create groups within groups within groups. So I could have 5 sections when I start to think this is overwhelming, and they'll keep smooshing. But then I have to navigate back and forth, grab common sections and put them in another group, and you can keep stacking them. But this green arrow will take you up a level. So whenever I see the green arrow, I know I'm not at the top level of my notebook, and I would just click to get up another level. Once that green arrow disappears, you're at the top level of your notebook. Okay? Put Continuing Ed in Teaching and Business Tech in Teaching. Is that what I did? Yes. Now here's my section group with my 3 sections, and I'm going up a level, and I can see that my icon here is my group with the remaining sections. Let's check out the file structure that went on behind the scenes. I take you back here because, in my opinion, you have to know where the files are going when you create them and how to get in control of those in case you want to take them somewhere else or move its location. So I'm going to my desktop again, into my notebook folder that it created, and now look at what it did. When you create a new section group, it creates a new folder within your notebook. And so in my, look at how I have open notebook 1, table of contents 2, and then the other 2 sections. Jump into your section group called Teaching into that folder. You've got your 3 sections, which is the .1, and you also have this 1 table of contents 2 again for your open notebook. If I wanted to open this on a different computer, I could open either one of those TOC2s. It does not matter. It will grab everything in the entire notebook. All right, and I'll close out of that. Pages are not going to show in the file structure. So all you can see back in your file structure in Windows is the name of the notebook in the folder, your sections with the one, and along with the table of contents, and any section groups and folders. And that's what we'll do for you. All right. Let's keep going with this. Workday. Let's go into the Workday section if you're not there. And I have 2 pages that I'm going to make, general info and entry codes. So a new page, I can either double click over, right click and rename my untitled, or start typing right above that date and time stamp. And that's again my page, the title of this page. So I'm calling it general info. You can have any character in page names. All right, and I'm going to add a page. Lots of ways. I can right click. I can click add a page right above my page list on the right hand side. So go ahead and enter entry codes. And I have a limitless number of pages and sections that I can add to a notebook. And I say limitless because if you Google it, they'll tell you keep going until it tells you you can't go anymore. And I don't know who, if you keep going and it can't take anymore, you need to take something out of your life. You're too busy. You are way too busy. All right. Then we're going to do something here. This is real time. I did not mention this. So like Access, if you are in Access and you update a table or anything, it is real time. You don't have to do any file save. Oops, did I save? Computer went out, I didn't save. This is saving as you go. There's no save. Thank goodness. So that is why it will keep a spot for anything that you delete, which is pretty cool. So if I delete, which one do I have on my sheet? The entry codes page. So I decide that I don't want this page anymore. I'm going to point to my entry codes, right click and delete it. And I'm also going to delete the continuing education section. So get to your continuing education section. You have to go into your group. I'm right clicking right on my section name and deleting it. Are you sure you want to move it to the notebooks recycle bin? So when you're in OneNote and you take something out, it puts it in this notebook recycle bin that you can access, and it will keep it there for 60 days until you empty it. So I'm going to say yes. Let's put that in the recycle bin. So how do you find where that is then? Excuse me. I'm going to go up to my top level of my notebook. And if you click on your history ribbon, do you see this notebook recycle bin? Do the drop down. And if you want to go into the recycle bin, you just choose Notebook Recycle Bin. And you are going to see your continuing education section that you just deleted. And any deleted pages is your entry code over here. Pretty cool? And I think it tells you after 60 days. Yes. So you want it back, you right click and you move it back into your notebook if you'd like to keep it. But that is how you access that. Let me give you this. I put together a sheet that has all the different ribbons. This is 2013, but guys, if you have 2010 at your computer and not 2013, they are so similar, so you can use that. It just might be in a different spot. Now, I obviously did not put every single description underneath the ribbon of what every single button does, because many of them are in other programs that you've used before. I don't need to explain the highlight and the draw and the bold and all of those things. But things that are very specific to OneNote, I did include, so that you have this as a reference later after we go through some of these, okay? All right, so let's play with this. Let's get out of our recycle bin. So I did my back arrow to get out of that. Let's even call it a section. And by the way, when you do that, it does create a recycle bin in your file structure. So you could go into File Explorer, into your notebook, and into the recycle bin to open that part. Okay, let's do this because I want to play and show you some cool things as we do it. I put together a notebook that has some stuff in it that we can look at, and you can botch up as much as you want. Do you already have one, Kelly, stuck in there? Okay, so throw the flash drives in. Guys, you might have to stand up in order to see the drive. It's on the left, in the middle behind the monitor. So you really do have to stand up. Stand up!
All right.
I know I'm bossy. Really bossy.
Yeah. Wow.
Flash drive in?
Can I sit down now?
You can sit. Right,
Do you want to?
Jennifer knows me, and I do get a little, "Ah," if you do something wrong, so she does not want to get yelled at all.
And you know me, so I'll be a little sassy.
I didn't hear, but that's okay. Here I've got Amy. Now, if you threw your flash drive in, I'm already in OneNote, so I am just going to do like I would any other program. I'd go into File and say Open, wouldn't I? If I were sitting in Word and I was going to open a Word file, if I happen to not be in OneNote, then I would go immediately into Windows Explorer. I would navigate to wherever I know that is and open that one TOC2 file, right? And that would open the entire notebook. But I'm sitting in here, so let's go this route. File, Open, navigate to first your computer, then your desktop, and there should be one thing there. Oh, it's not on the desktop. How come? I wanted to see if you were paying attention to take me to the flash drive instead of the desktop. So go to your flash drive, and you should have just one folder there, yes, called OneNote. Is everyone there? Who's not? Let me ask the other way. Anyone not? Here it is. Anybody else?
Yeah, me. So,
Computer,
yeah.
and then desktop. Oh, not desktop, sorry, browse. And then under computer, you've got the flash drive. Is your flash drive in?
Yeah, see.
Expand this so I can see a list of them. Removable disk right there if you open it. There it is. Okay. So let's go into that OneNote folder. So I called a notebook what?
Works.
That's the name of my workbook, and it created this folder. Let's see what's in it.
Mine says spring 2015.
Spring
Oh, that's
20.
right.
Oh, you went to one, go up a level, Jennifer.
Work sample AG.
Yep, that's the name of the workbook that when I created it made that big folder. Okay, now in that folder is all of these. Look, have I deleted something out of that workbook? How do you know that? It says OneNote Recycle. So that is what it will create. In our other one, it created one just like that too. In that folder, it's got all of your deleted things from that notebook. In shared governance, what does this tell you right now? Before you even open this notebook, what does this tell you? Do I have section groups or don't I? Yes. How many section groups? 2. One section group is called what? Shared governance. What's the other group?
Spring 2015.
Yeah, you guys knew it. I just am gonna wait until someone says it though. So spring 2015. And if you jump into shared governance, are there sections in there? No. Jump back up.
I have stuff in mine,
In shared governance?
yeah. So it's academic council and minutes. And-
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Your pages, though.
No, yeah, hers is different.
Hers is different? I bet you I know why, because you must be showing all, if you guys show all files, then you're gonna see all of these different pages, because do your drop down here, right-hand side, she was set to all files, and we were looking at one.
I don't feel in a different way. I don't know how. So I don't have.
But yeah, you're right, and now I got it too. So if you
I went back and forth a couple times because it got lost.
Okay.
Go back into shared governance.
You know what you're in? You're in Windows Explorer rather than Open. So if you close,
What's that?
you need to do a file, open, that's why.
That's
Okay. And then computer, and then into computer here.
why.
Where's the drive? There you go.
There.
Perfect.
There we go.
Now change this to all files, which is where we were.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Some of the, and then you can see all the different pages, correct? With the .ones. So I'm going to actually go up to my level of the drive, right where it says work sample AG. And I want to make sure if I go into that I'm opening my first table of contents. Now, I told you that it does not matter which table of content file you open, but there is something about my wanting, when I open a new notebook, to be at the top level when I do. And I've tested it different ways. I just never quite trust it. Do you ever do something like that? I just don't know, so I'm going to the top level and opening it there. All right, so here I am, and I'm going to open my open notebook, one table of contents 2, right in my work sample AG folder. Got it? Open it up, double click. And now we have that notebook open. If you look at your notebook names right under your quick access toolbar, and now do the drop down, you are going to see you've got the one that we just opened and your other notebook called your name. So that is how you navigate between your or among your notebooks.
And no matter where they are,
Pardon me?
no matter where they are.
No matter where they are. Yes. If you have opened them. If you have opened them.
Oh,
Now that is a great question, because where would you store your notebook? If you store it on a flash drive, then yes, you would have to go to your next computer and open it, and you would be wanting to work off that same flash drive, and everything is there. If you have 365, how many of you actually have 365?
What is
Office
365?
365. Okay, that is a subscription. And included in the subscription, you get so much space on the OneDrive. You get access to all of the applications through 5 different devices. So on your phone or your tablet or 2 computers, up to 5 spots, you get Office 2013. So Office 365 includes Office 2013. 2013 and 365 are not two different things. So if you have I just want to see here, if you do a file, everyone go to File. Click on Share because I want to, all right. Are you on Share, File Share? Right here, it tells you in yellow to share the notebook. You'll need to put it on a OneDrive or SharePoint. So SharePoint is also part of this 365. It's a spot where you can make web pages and do all of those types of things. We don't use it here at the college, but there's been talk about it. Do any departments use it maybe? No. And then you also could put it on this OneDrive that I was talking about, SharePoint or OneDrive, to share your notebook. I wasn't going to get into this later, but it's a perfect spot. Sharing notebooks. If I want to share a notebook with one of you, and I'm not using OneDrive or SharePoint, chances are if I'm working with you, we have access to the same shared drive through our own network. So I have something called the iDrive Instructor Student Share. You may not. We all have different access. Yes? Nod your heads, right? So if in my department I wanted to share this notebook with the BT department, I know that I could go to the share drive, FS Share 1, into this folder, and now all of us, whoever IT is given access to, have access to that shared spot. So if I want to share my notebook, that's where I store it. So if you use a shared drive, it works the same way as OneNote or SharePoint. Questions with that? Now just take that, and if you don't quite get it, store that going, oh, I can share my notebook. And if I want to do that and I want to share this so we can all collaborate after you see what it can do, then seriously talk to IT and say, I want to know who has access to this drive, blah, 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 and they will give you the answers. Another thing that you can do is if you do it on this OneDrive, and we might have access. Ellen, do you know if we through the college would have access to that OneDrive, or don't you know?
That I don't know yet.
Okay, that is something that you can put it on, and then you invite people through email to share that notebook. So you're very specific about who is looking at that. Things to think about, things to Google if you want to go that route. Now I'm going to hit escape and get out of backstage view. Keyboard people, by the way, keyboard people, if you don't like taking your hand off your mouse all the time and you want to switch around with your ribbons, press the Alt key. And right on my keyboard now I can go back to my home ribbon by pressing H. You may have already known that, but I just want to throw that out there. And you just go up level by hitting escape to get back to ribbon levels, and then back to different icons if you want to use your keyboard. All right, let's look at the home ribbon, some cool things in the home ribbon. What's so powerful about OneNote? Again, one, it's real time, and two, OneNote allows you to search on a whole huge notebook very easily. And that bar is right over here with search, just like any other search, really, in any other program. So I'm going to click, guys, just to find something. I'm going into teaching. Oh, let me get into my work sample notebook, which I was not in. Are you? Work sample AG notebook. So I'm in this notebook, and I'm going to jump over to grades section. I'm going to show you how to put these different things together that you are seeing, but this is a table. And in this table, I've got a link to Excel beginning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And of course, these are all just play. But if I click that, it's not going to take you there, because if you rest your cursor, do you see what your screen tip is? Does it say C, users, Amy, Dropbox, and then blah, blah, blah? You don't have access to my Dropbox account, so the link would not be there. So I'm going to show you how to create a different link to a file that I threw in that folder right at the very beginning. I'm going here to find 53535. This is just for a search example. So go back to your business and industry section. Pretend that we have lots and lots of section groups, lots and lots of sections, and tons of pages. Our Trapper Keeper is very large, and we know we have information about course 53535. I'm going to jump over to my search, and I'm just going to type in 53535, and it pops me there. Look how fast. Isn't that faster than the Trapper Keeper? So it'll take you immediately to that page, or any other pages will be highlighted, and you can go through and find them, just like any other one, but it's a little cooler in OneNote because it's so huge, and it will find it.
It says for a file name or a word or something else?
Anything, yes, anything.
If it's
Word
something
in
embedded.
your document, a character, a word, or something like that. But I'm going to show you how to find other things that are not text.
Oh.
Another cool thing about this is if you were to put in a picture or a PDF document, that search will look through that PDF and find that as well. It does not have to be a note that you created. This is a table in a note container. So let's talk about that terminology. If you rest your cursor on it, you're going to see the gray bar across the top, yes? With your move, north, south, east, west. So that move is a standard icon for move, and you can drag it around on your page. And you also have inside of that a table. Do you see the squares within it? That is a table that I inserted. And each row of your table or each new paragraph in a note is going to have off to the left this little gray arrow. So if I want to move a piece of something within my note container, then I have to go off to the left of that line, and now I have my own little move, and I can pull it out and plop it somewhere else on my page. Should you do that? Now you're starting to have fun, and we haven't even gotten there. Okay, click on Business and Industry section for a minute. All right, so this is all pretend. Let's say I have upcoming training. I have a page, look at my page, in Business and Industry called Upcoming Training. So DWD, PowerPoint Basics, the date, whatever, and these little things off to the left are called tags. So to the left of PowerPoint Basics, I added a tag, and that tag was attached to Karen. Now let's look at the tags and what I'm talking about. Up on your home ribbon, you've got a tags group. And the people at Microsoft sat around that table and they said, what are some common things people like to do? And they came up with a huge list. To do, important, question, right? And then in this little box, it's called a gallery. To the right of the gallery, you have the More button. Click that. And it will open your entire gallery of tags. And this is what the people decided. Now the reason Karen didn't pop in is because I'm using a whole new running version of this. And right now, what is that red attached to? The name called Project A. So if I want to make my own tag, I could go into what? Customize tags, jump in, and now you're in your Customize Tags dialog box. Tags, I think, are something that if you use OneNote, you would want to do. Because let's do this. I'm going to do a new tag. Click New Tag. Let's call it Tech Academy. And I'm abbreviating. And symbol, do your drop down symbol, look at the different symbols you can pick. How about we do a heart for Tech Academy? And you don't have to follow my lead here. I won't yell at you because I have no idea what you're picking, and that's fine. So I'm doing the heart and I'm clicking OK. And OK right out of that. It will pop any customized tags at the very top of your gallery. If you want to move tags around, you do your drop down, go back into customized tags, and your entire list, you can either wipe tags out so you don't have such a, right? Here's your delete. You pick one and delete it right out. And you can reorganize by doing your up and down arrows to get them in the order that you would like. That's how you do that. Jennifer.
I got lost at the create a new tag. Where is
The heart?
yeah, well, where is create a new tag?
Right. Are you here, Jennifer, in customized tags?
No, I'm not. I'm
Where-
back up a level.
Okay, so are you here?
Yes?
Go all the way down to customized tags.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
And then click new tag on the bottom left.
Got it. Thank
Okay,
you.
you're welcome. Type in Tech Academy
Uh-huh.
and then choose the symbol drop down, and we picked a heart.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, got it? So why do I want to use a tag? Here's why it's cool. If I have, let's do a new section called Tech Academy. So I'm going to click on my new section up at the top, the little plus, and type in Tech Academy. This might be a project that I'm working on. I can make a new section with maybe 8 different pages, and when Tech Academy is over, I can either keep it or I can delete it. Doesn't matter. So in my Tech Academy, I'm going to type in sessions. Now click anywhere on that sessions page. You with me? Now I've got the name of my page called Sessions. Click anywhere and you are in type mode. So wherever you clicked, you start typing and it's going to be in that location. Can you move it? Yes, it's a note container. So I'm just typing Tech Academy is May 27th and 28th. And I'm going to type in OneNote. OneNote 2013 session. I hit enter and I got on a new line. So I typed a sentence, hit enter, and I got into a new line within my container, this is called. And then I'm going to hit enter again, and I'm going to type in room 2639. I'm just typing in notes that you might jot down on a piece of paper somewhere. That's what I'm doing. And here's my container. You can move it wherever you would like. If I want to tag the entire container, it will tag every paragraph within it if I choose the entire container. So I'm clicking off. Now I have no container selected. Now I click on it. In a line, I've got that one paragraph within the container selected. And to select the entire container, I'm going up to the top, the gray section, and now I've got them all. So I want to tag all of these with whatever tag I created, in this case, Tech Academy. Click it, and you will see that every paragraph gets a tag. With me? If I want to move one of those tags, not tags, paragraphs, let's call it, I showed you, go off to the left of the, let's say, room 2639. And I'm going to drag that, and you have to go out of the container. You'll see it if you move far enough to get out of it. and drop it. Now I've created its own note container. And I decide that I want that on a completely different page. Well, are you still with me? This container, I'm going to right click and cut it out, just like I would cut anything out of any other program. Let's make a new page. So I'm going to add a page to my Tech Academy section. And let's call this page Room Info. And I can right click anywhere and choose Paste. So I move the entire container. Now let's see where tagging comes in handy. If you click on are you with me? Let's go to a section that doesn't even have one of these tags. So let's go into the grades section. This grades section in your tags group. And this little find tags button I think is so important. You probably want to put it on your quick access toolbar. How are you going to do that? Right click and choose add to quick access toolbar. Is it there? Okay, now anytime you're working on your notebook and you think, I gotta find my to-do list, I gotta find Tech Academy, I gotta find whatever tag you've set up, you click on your find tags and your navigation to those tags is gonna open on the right-hand side. Super cool, isn't it? Well, you haven't had time to soak it in yet, but under the group tags by default, it's gonna be tag name. So look at what it does. My entire notebook is going to show what's important, what's under Karen, and so and so, so and so. Pretty cool, by the name of the tag.
Could you take me there again? I'm sorry.
Yep. What section are you in, Jennifer? Grades?
Yes?
Okay, on your home ribbon,
Yep.
in your tags group,
Uh-huh.
find tags.
Got it.
Okay, now do the drop down for group tags by.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, they are by tag name, and you saw all that. Now you know the lingo. So if you click by section, look what you get in your search. All of your different sections and what tags are within each one. All mixed up. Is this cool? Okay, smile bigger then. Okay, do drop down. And now go down to title and tell me what title is. Tell me what you think title is.
Each page.
It is. It's by page name. So why, I got to call Bill Gates and say, could you change that so it says page rather than title? But it's title. And those are really by page numbers. Perfect. And I know you want to do this by date. And by note text is just alphabetical order with each of your paragraphs that you have tagged. Pretty cool? So that's the advantage of using tags, being able to find something. There are, in your tags group, we've got this to-do tag. Check that out. Are you on your grades section right now? We only have one page called Spring 2015. So if I click anywhere on a blank spot and click to-do tag, it's just a quicker way of choosing right now. I'm going to apply this tag and every single paragraph is going to have it. Task 1, enter. Task 2, enter. And so on. Can you have more than one tag? Yes. Are you blinking anywhere in your task 3? Anywhere in task 3, blink, 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 and go ahead and add maybe the important tag. So you can add multiple tags. Actually, I don't know how many tags up to a paragraph on one line. Another cool thing, if I go to my group tags by and choose tag name, whatever I want to do here, and by this show only unchecked items, that's pretty cool. Because if you have a bunch of these that you have checked off throughout your entire notebook, and you choose that, it will bring them down and only show those that are unchecked. All right. And by the way, if you add something, you have to click refresh to refresh those tasks, which I did not show you. See on the bottom, refresh. What does it say? Refresh what? Results.
Results.
Refresh results. Click that to update any tags that you've done recently.
And you can
Okay.
do all notebooks too.
What was that?
And you can search in all notebooks as well.
Yes, because the search in up here is, where is it? Right here?
Yeah.
Boom, this notebook, this section, this whatever. Just like in Windows, you can search by wherever, whatever level. Super cool. Do you use the notebooks?
Me, occasionally when I have to.
That's the spirit.
That was not promoting the program very
Yes.
well. Occasionally when I have to. All right, take a look at this down here.
But I need collaboration, yes.
Okay, and so you do share them.
Yes.
Cool. Where do you store it? On a shared folder?
Shared drive.
Shared drive?
Yeah.
Okay. Look down here, create summary page. That will do just that. It'll create a brand new page. Click it.
Oh, nice.
And over here, it named that page. I happen to be in my grades section when I'm there, but it named it important because it's going to grab just the top line. If you do not name a page, it will reference it with whatever the top line is of your note, your first note container, which is why it says important. Isn't that cool? So now you can do whatever you want here, and you can delete and only have your to-do list. You can move this and delete it just like you would anything else. And move it if you would like. All right, let's go into Spring 2015 sheet, page. And actually I want to go into not my page grades called Spring 2015, but let's jump into our section group called Spring 2015. This section group has 2 classes. And each class, I have a page called Course Info and Attendance. Maybe I want to store my syllabus on there. I can take attendance right here by a table that I created. And then I have Word Beginning. And I have a page for each student within that course. Let me show you how to do a table. If you are you on Excel Beginning? Let's go to the same spot. Excel Beginning. And if I want a new table, let me show you another feature here. Above this table, I might want more space. So if you take a look on your Insert ribbon and on your Draw ribbon, there is an icon called Insert Space. Insert, it's on those 2 ribbons. It is so important, I would put it on my Quick Access Toolbars. So I'm going to point to one of my Insert Space commands, and add to my Quick Access Toolbar. So I can use it anytime I need it. Now I want to put something in between this container and this container right here. So I'm going to click on my Insert Space, and my icon turns, as you can see, to a vertical bar, horizontal, or you can make it vertical if you go off to the left. Do you see that? You are only going to get that vertical bar if you vertically have a spot between 2 notes or 2 containers. So I want some extra space right in here. I'm going to click and pull it down and drop it. You can't do that on a real notebook page. So you go zoop, and now you've got some space if you want to put something in there. Click on your insert ribbon if you're not there, and here's your table. So I'm clicking on table. If you are a Word user, does this look familiar? Here's your insert table, you've got your grid, but it's not gonna show as it would in Word. I'm just gonna do a quick 2x2, and you can see they're really tiny. These columns will expand as you enter text. Try it out. Good. You move from one cell to the next, tab, tab, tab. This is an object, so when you insert an object, you get another term up at the top, a contextual tab called Table Tools. And so now your layout ribbon under Table Tools is going to have most of the same buttons that you see in other programs when you insert a table. And that feels comfortable, doesn't it? Your insert, delete, you can do different things with your table. And yes, you can sort in here. So if I wanted to sort these in my existing table down here in descending order, it's a little bit different. You have to make sure, and it's not powerful like it is in Word, but it's got some basic stuff. So I have to make sure that my header row is checked so it doesn't get sorted. And then I can do descending, and it will grab every piece across every row. Thank goodness. But there's something new on here, isn't there? Are you in this big table that I have already? All right, if I made this table, I can select the, go anywhere in the table, and there is this convert to spreadsheet, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to click that. Are you with me? And it's going inserting documents, and look what I have. Now, in my notebook, I have a piece of the sheet that I've got my grades in, and I can get into Excel, the entire program, by clicking this little word edit. So click edit and look what it does. You might have to wait a sec. How cool is that? And now I've got the whole potential of this program right here, but I can access those grades right from my notebook.
Nice. Make changes.
Yes, yes, and it's linked. This is connected. Just be careful about where you are storing things. So if where your notebook is, I put everything on my Dropbox. Everything's on Dropbox. So I'm good, so I can access Dropbox wherever I am and get to that. So just be careful where you put your things. If I have this spreadsheet, well, now it's going to be connected to wherever I have this notebook. Look at the name of it. It's called Course Info and Attendance. Where did that come from? My sheet name. And that's where it is. Now, I rarely do this when I really want to work with an Excel sheet, because now it's got this workbook and I don't really know where it is unless I search the properties and find the path of where I put it. Correct? You guys didn't make this, it made it. So here's another option I want to show you. I'm going to close out of Excel. And will you take a look at your flash drive? Go back into Windows Explorer. I want to show you a file that's there. On your flash, in your OneNote folder, do you see I put a thing called Excel Beginning Grades Fall 2015 right there? Okay, so that is an Excel workbook that I have. Open it up, take a look. It'll open Excel. There. So there's my worksheet. Close it out. And then close out Windows. Let's go to a new page so you can see this. So I'm clicking on Add Page. Excel, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't remember what course number I pretend, but we're playing pretend, you got it, right? We're on our page and now I want to put this file here, which I think is a better route than creating a table and converting it to Excel into a sheet where I don't know where it is. Click on Insert, and you have two options that are way cool. That's what I call the course, way cool. So these way cool options are File Printout and File Attachment. So File Printout is going to give you literally a picture of the file and a link along with it so that if you click it, it takes you to that location. And your File Attachment is just that, just an attachment without a picture. I want to do a File Printout. So I'm clicking on File Printout, with me? And then I'm going to navigate to your flash drive. Find that Excel workbook called Excel Beginning, with me? And when you open it, it will insert it along with a link. And if you scroll up on your page, you will see the link. And your printout. Now this, oh shoot. Oh, it's not giving me the edit mode from here, is it? It's not giving me the edit mode. It's just giving me the picture. Yes.
So if I edit in Excel, will this document update?
Now, if you edit in Excel, here's what's going to happen. Let's do it. Let me show you what it looks like. So I'm going into my Excel file. It will, a big yellow bar will go across the top and let you know. Go into your grades. Well, that was dumb. I could have clicked the link to get there. Did you just see what I did? I navigated rather than just clicking the link. If I go here and I update it, so I'll put in, let's say, a grade for the first one. And I'll save it and close out of it. Then if you go up here at the top, it will, if you right click, I might have to right click.
Oh, right, click here to refresh.
I can't find the, where does it say right click here to refresh it? It says somewhere.
Restore.
I'm trying to find it. I'm not finding my refresh. Where'd you find that?
Once I change, you have to, I think you have to click on the link to begin with, instead of trying to open up the file.
Oh,
Yeah,
click on the
refresh.
file, right click.
Yeah.
And there's your
Right click,
refresh.
refresh printout.
Yeah,
Thank
refresh
you.
that, yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Alright.
It didn't refresh mine.
Didn't refresh mine either.
We did save it. I did save it.
Why don't you try from the beginning, actually opening it up from the link.
Yes, but. I did say, I'm just curious, see how it's not there? I'm going in through here.
Oh, I see what you're doing, trying to do.
I just want to see why, because this is going to have my change. Do you see that?
Ah,
And why it's not connecting, I have not encountered that. I really haven't.
So I did a Control S, and now my file says the printout below may be out of date. Click here to refresh.
Jennifer, when you made the change, did you make it going through Windows or did you get there through the link?
I clicked within the link within the OneNote page.
And you have that, it may not be whatever.
Correct, now I do, I didn't before.
Refresh.
And now I did.
Well, that's kind of poopy. I don't think, I update my spreadsheet when I'm out of OneNote, like I just did, and then do my refresh. So I really don't know why it's not refreshing. Good news, bad news, let's look at the glass half full. Be aware then, you cannot assume that it is being refreshed, and you may have to relink that, apparently, because it's not updating it that route. Questions or confusion? Good? All right. If I don't want this, it's just an object. Click on it and press delete. You might have to grab it a couple times, make sure you have the entire placeholder and the gray square all the way around it to grab that printout piece of your file. Let me show you this option up on the top, screen clipping. I'm still on my insert ribbon. Let me see, I want to check one more thing with that spreadsheet. Do you see your insert spreadsheet right here? Insert spreadsheet? Rather than the file printout. This spreadsheet, I'm sure this is where I went wrong. Click here, existing file, now navigate, and put it in by inserting the spreadsheet. So everything that I just told you, rewind 3.5 minutes. When you want to put your Excel sheet in, use your spreadsheet rather than the file printout so that you can get into that tool. Now you see your edit, yes? Directly in and out. If you made a change, you would have that refresh bar across the top. All right. Moving on now, screen clipping. Here's what screen clipping does. It's in all of the programs. Raise your hand if you use it. Screen clipping. All right, screen clipping will do this. If you go this route, go ahead and click it. It will minimize the OneNote program, and whatever is behind it is what you can snip from. And that is true in the other programs as well. So hit escape. Oh, we have to snip something. Go ahead and drag something to get back to the program. Were you on your desktop? Click and drag, and it will pop in your screen clipping. Good?
Where is the snip?
It's right on your insert ribbon,
Oh.
Screen clipping,
That is nice.
under images. So if I want to snip something from the internet, then I'm going to have to open up a browser first. Oh, can I do this?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Or can I do it from I
You
won't
can do it
mess up
anywhere,
that tab.
so, yeah.
Okay. So I'm on MSN. Are you guys in a browser? Go to a site. Better than this, go to Home Depot. Now I'm going to give you I'm mix and matching work and home. So I'm doing a remodel. And in my remodel, I'm going to find some different tile. I don't know. So I'm tile. Porch, whatever the case is. You like one? Are you with me? This now is going to be behind my OneNote. So this window, I'm going to put OneNote window right in front of it. So I'm going back onto my taskbar and clicking. What's behind it? Home Depot site. And now let's go to a new section called remodel. And I want to store different pictures from different sites all on this page. So I'm going to go in an empty spot right here and click on my screen clipping. It's going to minimize OneNote, whatever is behind this window I can snip from. So I click it with me. Now I can grab that I really like this tile. I grab a picture of it and drop it. And I've got this right here, the screen snipping. Cool?
Mine came with a URL with it.
What?
Somehow or other, mine has the URL with it, so I could click on and go back to the website.
If you do the, you didn't do screen snipping then, did you?
Yeah.
And you got the link? Take a look at the right-hand side. Let's do this. Click on linked notes. If you click on your review, over on your linked notes, do you see this option here? If you click that, it's going to open up a navigation pane on the right-hand side. I'm going to close out my tag summary just to give me some more room. Whoops. Close this out. And if I do that, now that my linked notes is on, take a look at the right-hand side, the linked notes pane. This little icon right here with the red square through it lets you know that you are not linking notes. If you click, you can say stop taking linked notes, and I'll show you what that means in a minute. Or start, start, which is going to be on again. Now leave that linked notes open for a second. It doesn't matter if it's on or off. That screen clipping, I don't know why. Click on screen again. I'm grabbing, and it's not pulling in my URL. Raise your hand if it pulled in your URL.
Yep, even though it's off. I'm trying to.
Yes,
link
even
it
though it's,
off,
I wanted to make sure it's, because it
but
shouldn't
it
have
brought
to
the
do with
URL
that.
again.
Right. Well, I don't know. How's that? I don't know. Jump onto the internet. Take a screen clipping of something. Now, how many of you use snipping tool? Do you use snipping tool?
Oh, I see. It'll get the URL that you've got to use Internet Explorer. It'll pull the URL off from the screen if you use it.
Only Internet Explorer,
Yes, I tried.
because that is
Fire-
Microsoft's.
Yep, I tried Firefox, it wouldn't work.
Oh.
Ah.
I wanted to see if someone could figure that out. Good job. No, I didn't. That's a lie. But thank you for playing around with that. That should be on your sheet. That should be on your sheet, shouldn't it? So you better put down under your snipping that if you are going to snip from the internet, if you want that URL, you better use Internet Explorer. I wonder, and I will Google after this to see if there is a way that you can attach it to other browsers. Maybe, maybe not.
Add in.
It might be, I'm not sure. I'm actually glad that happened and that I picked Mozilla. Because my default browser is Internet Explorer. Let's talk about the linked notes. So I'm going back into my OneNote. This is what linked notes is. If you have this screen open, then you can do anything you want with this OneNote window. So if I minimize it and I bring up a Word document, an Excel document, a PDF that's stored somewhere on my computer, or a spot on the internet. Now let's go to MSN. I'm really nervous here that I'm in Mozilla. It should work, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. If you're in Mozilla, it might not work, but linked notes should work anywhere. I'm going to MSN. And over in my linked notes pane, I'm gonna make sure that the red X is not through it. With me? Now I'm gonna click over in my notes section and I'm gonna start typing because I'm taking some notes about Sam Shepard. I'm reading and taking notes on whatever page I am. Blah, 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 blah. On this page or whatever it is. Oop. Do you see what I'm doing? While my notes is on. And I'm thinking it's not looking good here. Because I'm in Mozilla, and if you were in Internet Explorer, I'm going to show you the difference. I'm in Mozilla, I'm on linked notes, and you don't see a little internet icon off to the left of my notes. Do you see that? Now I'm going to click on Internet Explorer and use that browser instead. Come on. And if I went to MSN or I wanted to go somewhere here and take a note on the athletics update, blah, 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 I'm taking my notes. Do you see what I get off to the left of my notes then? The little E, which is the website that it's linked to. Linked notes, on or off. Do you still have your linked notes pane open on the right-hand side? When you link your notes to Internet Explorer, then to jump into the whole program, you can use this full normal view icon, which is right under the close from your linked notes pane. And if I do that, I'm back to my full screen program. I can see that when I expand in my program, automatically it will turn off the linked notes. Now it's off in the upper right-hand corner. But here are my notes that I took with the link. So when I click it onto the site, it takes me directly to the page or file that I was taking notes on. Let's try this with a document because I stored a document on here. So are you in OneNote? Get to OneNote. And I'm in my remodel page, a section, and I'm going to add a page. And I will call this cohort info. Yes, I know it has nothing to do with remodeling. We are in pretend world here. So on my cohort info, I know I have an article that I saved talking about cohort stuff. So I'm going to link my notes. First, I'm going to turn on my linked notes by going into Review and then choosing Link Notes. In fact, it's probably so important you want to do what? Put it on your quick access toolbar so you can quickly do that. Here's my cohort info page. If I don't want to go and link them to the current page I'm on, then I can navigate to another page. Pretty cool at this point. And I'll just cancel it because I want them on my cohort page. Got it? All right, so let's go into Windows Explorer and open up an article, a Word document that I have saved. In that OneNote folder called Cohort Groups Article. Open it up. With me? Now I'm reading my article. I can close out navigation if I want. Over on the right, I want to take notes, not only notes, but later I want to be able to click that and get back to my Word document from those notes. So I have to make sure that this is on, which it is. It doesn't have the red circle. So when I click here and I start typing, cohort groups are awesome. Advantages and disadvantages. And I have my notes. Do you see my little thingy on the left-hand side? That's my link to my Word document that I'm going to have. So I'll close out my Word document. I don't need it anymore. I can expand and get back into OneNote if I would like. And whenever I want, you closed out of that Word document. But now I've got, if I click, a link to that document if I want to find out more. Isn't that cool? Say yes.
Yes.
That's pretty
Yes.
cool.
That's pretty cool.
It is. All right, I'm going to close out of that Word document that I just opened from the link. All right, I want to show you some other cool things that are not apparent. I have to pin my command ribbon. I don't know why it was unpinned, probably because we did a link notes. Email page does just that. If you have the full Outlook program that you are using, how many of you use Outlook on your desktop at work? Do you use the whole Outlook thing rather than OWA? Perfect. You can utilize so many things with this. Huge. So if I have a whole bunch of notes and someone says, what are your notes? I'm going to email that page. And if I had Outlook, I could go in, type it, and everything is right in the message area for them. Super cool. This is super cool. If you are in Outlook 2010 or 2013, and you get an email, I can't go there because I can only have access to OWA right now, but if I go there, I can open up a message. Let's say a student emails me in my Excel beginning, and I want to keep that. How many of you keep folders? Often, right? You have email folders up the yin-yang, and you just keep dropping and dropping. That's good, but you might want all of them from that one student on one page in OneNote. So you click, and there it is, right on your message window, right on the home ribbon. Over on the right, it says OneNote. And if you click OneNote, it takes the whole email and any attachments. You pick the page, and it plops it in. And the next email will go right under it. And the next one will go right under it. Now you can scroll through your emails, and attachments come over as well, all in OneNote. That's super cool.
Can you repeat? You do that as a link? Sorry. You do it through Outlook. You say attach to OneNote?
All it says is OneNote, right on the home
Okay.
ribbon. It just says OneNote right on there.
Okay.
And if you go off to the right, you click OneNote, and then what happens is you will click on, this is going to plop it. If I do any of my insert right now, it's going to plop it on that page. But you know, if you do a clipping, so let me show you the window that you'll get. Oh shoot, it plopped it on the page. Remember before when I did an insert and it asked me where? At that point, it'll ask you where do you want to put it, what section, what page, whatever in your notebook.
So would it then pick all the emails, everything that's on your,
The string, the whole string.
the whole string from that student, or everything that's on the page when you're looking at it?
From that email,
From that
that
email?
message, with all of the strings within that one message.
And it'll stay independent then if you delete that email from Outlook? Or will it stay?
I think it stays in OneNote,
Because
even if you delete it.
created a new document.
correct. But I would test that.
Okay.
All right. Scanners, do you guys have scanners? attached. So you do scanned image, it will say what scanner are you coming from, and it will plop the image right in there. I want to show you this picture. Let's grab, go on to Internet Explorer, will you please, just in case it doesn't work in another browser. So jump on to Internet Explorer, go into the MATC's homepage, and let's use the A to Z index to get to shared governance. With me? Shared governance, let's go over to the college councils. And I'm going into, let's say, the IT council and the roster. So pick a council and go into its roster. All right? Now I just zoom back so that I can see the entire list. I may not need a link to this, so I'm just going to, do you see when you open OneNote, you get this little tool down here with the scissors? If you click that, you have 3 options. So if I click that, I've got the screen clipping, another way that I can do what we just did in there. Send to OneNote, so this will send it, I can pick a spot. In fact, click it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Did you get your box yet?
No.
Oh, wonder bar. Okay, click that again and do your screen clipping. We'll go this route. Ready? Snip out the list of people. And now do you get your select location box? I'm going to put it right in, how about my work sample, shared governance, shared governance general info, and general info. You see how you can navigate through all your workbooks and sections and pages, expand and collapse where you want to go, pick a spot, and then send to selected location. Now go back into OneNote, and you should see it plopped in there because it might leave the other screen in front. Did you do that? This comes in then as a picture, right? Now what if Penny has a typo in her name and I want to edit that? This of course is an image right now. If you pull in an image that has text, you can convert that text to editable text from a picture. So it's not anything up here and it's on your sheet because it's such a useful tool. If you right click on the image, so grab the image itself, not the entire container. Do you see your handlebars around the image? Once you have that north, south, east, west, right click, shoot, grab it all, and right click. You have to, it's really picky where you right click and when, but you will have an option that is copy text from the picture. Does everyone have that? Copy text, click it. Now it's on your system clipboard, all of the text from this image. So I'm going to jump onto new page, right click and paste, and you will see now that you have text. Would you maybe have to manipulate that? Of course, depending on how it was set up from your image. But now I have editable text. I could throw this in Excel, couldn't I? And manipulate it and do what I want and pull it back in. So that's a cool feature, to take some words out of a picture and convert it to edit text. Will you click on your draw ribbon for a minute? And I'm clicking on add a page just to get a blank screen up, showing you more features. On the left, this is important, so important, I always throw it on my quick access toolbar. All right, type by default is on. We've been doing notes by typing wherever we happen to be. If you want to draw, then you click one of these and you're off of type. And so your dot might be so small you can't find it, but when you get to a spot, isn't it kind of like working in the blind at first? There. And draw something. Every time I lift up my mouse, it is creating one object on that page. So I have one, a dot, dot, circle, circle, V, all of those different pieces, which means that if I go back to my type, click on type again, after I get done drawing, click on one of those pieces and see how you get handlebars. Are you seeing all the different pieces? Yes? So if I want to move my whole drawing, then I have to grab them all first, select them all. And the easiest way of doing that is using this lasso select. Are you guys with me?
Mhm.
So click on lasso select. You place your cursor in the upper left-hand corner of what you're going to select. And make sure you're not, if I'm here, it's not going to grab this image. It has to be to the left and above, or it won't work. And now I click and I just draw a lasso around and let go. And now I have them all in one, so I can move them. Do you see that? So that lasso is how you would grab this. That lasso is how you grab a whole bunch of note containers if you want to move them at the same time. It doesn't have to be drawing. It can be a bunch of things that you want to grab. This is all straightforward as far as picking what you want and drawing and doing anything like that. Got it? All right, will you click one of your pens, and by the way, this is where you set your pen mode and use a pen as a pointer, create your handwriting and drawings. This is where you're going to work with your pens. But I'm just grabbing one and I'm writing my name. Go ahead and write. If you have text on your page and you lasso it, so I'm going to lasso my name because it's a bunch of objects. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? All those different pieces. If I lasso it, take a look at your convert over on your draw ribbon. It's ink to text. And now I've got text. I see this being much more handy if you are using a device that has a touch screen with a stylus. Can you see where you're writing?
Mm-hmm.
And if you write and you're quick taking notes, you can later lasso it all and say to text. And now you've got text rather than handwriting. Depending on what kind of handwriter you are, you might have to do some editing. All right. Any of you teach any area in math at all? If you do that, this is super cool. Click on Insert for a ribbon. Insert. Over in your symbols, you've got equations. Look at that. Everyone pick an equation, and it will plop it in your spot. This is cool because if you then want an equation, and you can edit it, by the way, by clicking on, if it won't let you type, if you have that little thing, what do you have to do? Get back to type. Get back to type. Now I could go into my equation, guys, and change any of this right in my note. And I could copy this whole thing. Copy, jump into Word if I wanted, and paste it in. And look how we'll plop it in. And you can't type all of that if you're going to be in Word. So maybe you have your own way cool program that does that, but that's what the equation does in OneNote.
And this is the same as Word, kind of.
As far as how it works editing
Except, yeah,
and highlighting and colors and those types of format things, yes. Yes. All right, I'm skimming across these to make sure there is, record audio and video. If you have that, that's super cool. You click record video. I don't know if there's a camera on here. Oh, it might not work because of what he's doing. But if you had a camera on your laptop right now, I am recording everything I'm saying. It's taking a video of it, and I can press stop, and now I've got a video right here. Whoops, wherever, oh, it didn't because it's not hooked up. Super easy. Record, do a whole meeting and record by doing audio. See, this is what happens at the end. I want to keep showing you more and more and more, and obviously you can't do everything in OneNote in 2 hours. So I do want to show you this, and it's on my sheet. If you insert, how many of you think maybe recording your voice or a meeting or something might be cool? Yes? Maybe? You hit record audio. It does pick up sound pretty well depending on what you're using. So if I'm recording, I could be recording right now. Is it Alan maybe picking me up or maybe not? We'll soon find out. Blah, 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 blah. And I think, oh, something happened just now. And I take a note. And I think, oh, something happened just now. Now I'm still recording this whole conversation that we're having. And when I hit stop, then I can go here. This is my whole recording.
I don't think there's a microphone attached.
There's not,
here.
but do you see the gist? This would play the entire thing. Wherever I started typing, if I click play, it will play at that point. So every note I take is a recording at that time of the meeting, or recording, I should say. Isn't that cool? That wasn't very exciting on your part, but I'll take it. Boy, look at all the free time I gave you. I think this is better. Insert, draw. Oh, insert, look at your page templates, guys. Under page templates, under insert page templates, you've got different things. And every time you click one, it will set up a page for you. That's what a template is. So you don't have to start from scratch. Business. Look at all the different meeting notes. Pretty cool? Now you've got your 1, 2, 3 set up, your attendees. I can take all of my attendees, my action items from my template. Cool?
Yes.
Links. If I want to create a link, so let's say, and I want to mention this, it's on your sheet. We know how to create a link to a web page, a simple web page. But without knowing, and I had to Google, there is not a link to an email address unless you type the words mail to in front of it. So will everyone, anywhere on your page, type in email and then put your first name in. Email Amy or whoever you are. If I select the text, to create a link, just as I would with any other program. And I go up to my link, up in my links, on my insert ribbon. Then here, under the address, it only gives you either a web address you can paste in, or you can make a link to another file, just like any other hyperlink. Usually in hyperlinks, there's an email. Do you know what I'm talking about? An email selection? There isn't one here, but I found a workaround. If you type in mail to, without any spaces, with a colon, and then type in your email address, and click OK, that will give you a link to the email. Mail to with a colon. And I don't think it's gonna work because I don't have Outlook up and running. Because you have to have the full Outlook program, but at work, on your desk, it will work. Got it? I think I'm gonna eventually have to stop, aren't I? I hit the biggies. Oh, it did. Look, it took me in. So there's how to make a link to an email.